Morning, it's Tasha with Tasha Talks to Teens, and I wanted to show you what we are going to work on today. I thought it would be beautiful because it is springtime and we're celebrating super feelers that we could do something really beautiful to brighten up our house or to maybe pop in our neighbor's garden or offer to somebody that we know needs a little pick-me-up. And so these are pinwheels, and I'm gonna grab one right now and show you how they kind of work. So I've picked beautiful colors of the rainbow just because I thought the more color the better. And a pinwheel is beautiful because we can blow on them, and as we blow, we can send it around. This is made with quite thick paper, so they're not blowing really well. But when we think of ways that we can calm ourselves, breath in through our nose, and then a slow breath out can be really helpful to regulate and calm a nervous system down. And it also makes the pinwheel turn and look so beautiful. And what I think is really neat with pinwheels is there's 4 points on a pinwheel. And so this is a very cool activity that you might do to remind yourself of things that are at your fingertips that you can do to feel better. It might be reminding yourself of things that make you beautiful, that superpower part of who you are. It could be things that if I went out and did this and got my body moving, it might help shift my mood and make today a better day. And sometimes we have people in our life, they might be celebrating a birthday, or we know that they're having a hard time. Wouldn't it be neat to ring someone's doorbell and leave a pinwheel on their doorstep that reminded them of beautiful things that are within themselves, or even 4 things like memories that you have about things that you shared together, so it might spark kind of that nice feeling within their heart. And so here's one that my daughter made, and I wanted to show you how it kind of works. And so these are things that she does, and she's 19. Things that she does to feel better. And so one of the things was dance. And so if she were having a not so great day, she might say, you know what, I know that if I move this body and do some choreography and get my heart beating a little bit and listening to some groovy music, I'm gonna feel better. So that's a huge coping strategy for her, and she's been doing a lot of it being finished university. And then we've got a really beautiful chubby cat named Licky. So she says, pet your animal. And we know that when we're close to animals, and they have to be mammals, like ones with more of a more prefrontal cortex, so that they get in tune with people, and they sense when you're feeling sad, and kind of cuddle up and give you some love. Getting close to a cat or something cuddly is a great thing to do. She also said hike. Go on a hike and get outside, be with the clouds. And that's something that we are going to try to find an urban hike to go on this weekend, to be able to see something a bit novel, even though, we want to stay within probably a 5-kilometer radius of our house. Going off in a different direction, we live by a river, so we might see a beaver, we might see some different houses and trees in bloom. And so we're going to go on an adventure. And another thing that she is finding, and I'm sure lots of people are doing this, is cooking a yummy meal. And so looking at recipes that are kind of different, or something that I used to love this dish that my grandma made and I want to make it. Do something novel. So even our taste buds can get excited when we eat something that's a little bit different. So be creative, get in the kitchen. And so on these different pinwheels, I've got different themes to them. So this is sort of like an activity-based one. Ooh, this one is about the super feeler, that you're super caring and super creative. So you might make one for the super feeler in your life. I have one that's around, beautiful affirmations. And affirmations are loving things that we can say to ourselves. So you are enough. Be yourself. Everyone else is taken. You are not your feelings. Whatever those quotes are and nice things that you want to remind yourself, you're going to get through this. You've got through hard things before. That might be a really beautiful one to do as well. I've got one that's sort of a mindfulness pinwheel that reminds us that we can stop at any point through the day. We should be doing this a few times a day. Stop and turn your focus inward and just scan your body for what sensations are there, what feeling might be there, and just notice. Give a minute to just notice what it is. Take a few deep breaths and then continue with your day. Before this pandemic happened, I think I feel pretty confident in saying being busy and doing was kind of a really normal way that most of us were living, even kids, teenagers. And so, you know, we don't have that busyness right now. And so for lots of people, it's making you feel more than you have before. And so ways that you might cope, like, oh, I write lists about everything, or, I like to stay busy all the time. I'm looking at my phone all the time. We're doing things to calm our system down, which we need to do to cope. But having a chance to slow down and let yourself feel whatever it is you're feeling is also really important too. It's a really part of staying healthy, an important part of staying healthy, and an important part of not feeling like our bodies are collapsing, or if we're feeling really anxious and having trouble sleeping. And I hope you have someone that you can share it with. And if not, write it down in your journal. There is so much power in writing things down. It takes all that stewy chaos that might be floating around in your mind, and you're putting some words to it, and you get to get it out of you. And it's so, so helpful. So I would say, if you can, journal every day. We also know that, a slow, long, deep breath out, stopping and doing that a few times a day can be really helpful. And that karate chop point, I think I showed that to you a few weeks ago. So just touching that acupressure point underneath our baby finger, tapping on that spot, even massaging that spot, can help to send a message to our brain to calm down. And so I think doing a little bit of karate chopping before your feet hit the floor in the morning might be a really good thing to do. And most definitely, if you have a wave of sort of worry or anxiety that passes over you, do some tapping. It's really helpful for helping to shift that energy in your body. And you might find other ones that you want to do as well. Ooh, I even have ones that give people journal ideas. So you might remind yourself of a time when you were brave and write a story about it. You might write down a story that makes you proud of your heritage, or even what are 3 things that you want to try this year. And so you might be someone that's really scared to talk on the phone, or you might be someone that's like, I really want to try to do a triathlon. I've never done that before. So set a goal for yourself, and it doesn't have to be ginormous, but something that you're a little bit nervous about would be kind of a cool thing to kind of think about. What is that thing that I want to do? Maybe 3 things that I want to do this year to stretch my world and kind of build that brave muscle. And I have one very special pinwheel in here for a very special person that I know is turning 10 today, double digits. That's a big deal. And so for that young person, I want her to know happy birthday from me, and that she's incredibly beautiful, not just the outside of her, but the inside of her. She has a very, very kind, generous heart. And so this is a happy birthday pinwheel for you, kiddo. And so you can look on YouTube on how to make pinwheels. The basic gist is this. You kind of get a square piece of paper and you cut lines down in 4 spots, punch a hole or poke your pencil through a hole so that you can bring the flaps of paper towards the middle. And so, kind of like this. So you can draw on it before you bring it down into a pinwheel. And for some people, taking a pencil and a little thumbtack and poking it through, that makes a beautiful pinwheel. If you want to use glue gun and just stick it on a stick, you can do that too. But be creative. Make some big ones, make some small ones, and maybe some lovely people in your world, yourself or someone in your family or a neighbor, needs to get a bouquet of something beautiful to brighten their day. These look stunning in gardens. We've done that before, put them in gardens, and they look so pretty, especially when the wind catches them. It's unbelievable. And so if you create something beautiful, take a picture and tag me on it, because I would love to share it with people. Until tomorrow, remember to breathe, create something beautiful, and be well. Bye.